Hey guys, James Hall, family nurse practitioner. I'm going to do a really quick video on how to do keto. I've had a lot of requests, so I'm going to go ahead and do a video of my own. So what we got to do is lower insulin. That's the number one thing in keto. If you're not bringing insulin down, you're not going to lose weight. Now, is keto the only way to do that? No, you can do a starvation diet, a low-calorie diet, but all the studies have shown that your hunger and cravings increase on a lower-calorie diet. And actually, you crave or hunger less when you just don't eat. When you completely fast, you're less hungry than on a calorie-restricted diet. So that's really something to think about. And the difference between a high-fat, low-carb or a ketogenic diet is that you stay full. You don't hunger, and that's because of the high fat. So we got to really look at insulin. You got to bring that insulin down, and I'm going to show you a few charts and graphs on how insulin affects your fat mobilization and your fat burning. Just remember, if insulin's high, you're storing fat. You got to get insulin down in order to burn and use fat, and that's how you lose it. So here's a few pictures. I'm going to also go over the main foods you need to avoid, and I think that's what most people are interested in. What foods do I have to stay away from? So I'm going to go over those really quick, show you a few pictures, and then just talk about all the foods that you can eat. So here we have a chart showing fat mobilization, you burning and using fat on the left. And you can see that insulin's very low to zero. As it moves to the right, as insulin increases, you notice your fat utilization goes lower and lower and lower. And again, here's my favorite chart, which shows which foods will help you lower your insulin so that you can burn fat. Obviously, carbohydrates are spiking your sugar and your insulin, protein's next, and fat does not produce insulin response at all. It gives a long appetite suppression and energy. High fat, low carb. So foods to avoid, we're going to start with the grains, flour in particular, 23 teaspoons of sugar per cup of flour, and everything made from flour, such as bread, which is 7 teaspoons of sugar for 2 slices, and pasta, which is 10 teaspoons of sugar per cup, and that's without the sauce. So everything made from flour, high sugar, can't have it. Now let's do our vegetables that we need to avoid. Let's start with potatoes. Potatoes, 6 teaspoons of sugar. And now we have corn, 3.6 teaspoons of sugar per ear. So no potatoes, no corn, 2 more vegetables. Rice has 11 teaspoons of sugar per cup. Doesn't matter if it's brown rice, white rice, it's sugar. And finally, beans, 22 teaspoons of sugar per cup of beans. That's a lot of sugar. And fruit, forget about them. They're all sugar. There's no such thing as good sugar or good fruits. So what can I have to eat? Any of the vegetables we didn't already mention, any kind of meat, whether it be seafood, pork, chicken, red meat. You can have nuts except for cashews, heavy cream. Any of these things are fine. Just look up the carbs on everything. That's the most important thing. And if you're good on carbs, you're good to go.